This week on Our Football with Chris Ash, we look ahead to the second half of the season with the head coach of the Scarlet Knights.
We're here to build a program, not just a team. A team is something that, you have one good year and it's a flash in the pan and that's it. We want to build a program that sustains success. We want to build a program that's big, fast, physical program that can compete with anybody in the country. That's what we want.
We preview the upcoming matchup with Illinois.
They got an offense that presents a lot of challenges. They got a defense that's trying to play extremely hard, and they're very well coached and are fundamentally sound.
We get to know Rutgers leading rusher Robert Martin.
I just try to make plays for my team any chance I get. When I get the ball, I feel as though I could be a home run threat, and I just try to get points on the board. And if I gotta get slow chunks of yards, that's what I do too.
Martin into the secondary. Can they catch him? They will not. Touchdown.
And we go behind the scenes, through the tunnel, and onto the field with defensive standout Darius Hamilton.
Nights in the NFL here on the wall. A lot of guys I've had the pleasure of playing with, guys like Quentin Gauze, guys like Leonte Carew, Tyler Croft. It really means a lot just to be able to walk down this hallway and see these jerseys hanging up and know that at one point or another, these guys were in our shoes.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Our next coach has to be a great ambassador for our university, someone who can lead young men, someone who will get our fans hopeful and excited again about Rutgers football. Chris Ash is the right man to lead that effort.
I want to build a first-class program here. It's going to take an extreme amount of work. It's going to take a lot of the right people.
Great timing, Gio!
Going in the same direction. I want to build a fast, physical team that plays with relentless effort.
He's going to do it! What a run by Robert Martin for the score!
Tremendous enthusiasm.
Taken down! What incredible effort!
And plays for each other. A program that the university, the state of New Jersey, high school coaches, and high school players, they want to come here and be a part of it.
I'm Darius Hamilton, and this is our pregame routine. Well, the Scarlet Walk's something that's been here for many years. It gives you a chance to interact with the people who come to see you from all over the place and see family members and things before a game, people who wish you the best of luck. And that's always, it's always a blessing to have people who are behind you and believe in you 110%. As well as we've added taking the field with Coach Ash. Just gives you an opportunity to get on the field, walk across it, envision everything that you hope to see happen there on that field tonight, the day of the game, and it's really just a good chance to get your mind locked in and focused on what's about to happen. The energy in the locker room on game day is really ecstatic. People are ready to go. You got a lot of coaches walking around, stretching out guys like Coach Parker, Coach Springer, Coach Beamer, getting everybody ready to play. A lot of the guys are just really sitting around, getting themselves mentally prepared, ready to play ball. So as you take this walk down to the stadium, we have to pass the weight room. Honestly, this is where we put in most of our time, grinding with each other each and every day. You spend more time here with the guys on the team than you spend anywhere else. You see them more than you see your family. You see them more than you see your friends outside of football. This is pretty much our family, man. This is weight room and what goes on in the summer, what's gone on in the winter is really pretty much what makes us one unit, which really makes us a family. As we continue to walk down the hallway, you've got the Knights in the NFL here on the wall. A lot of guys I've had the pleasure of playing with, guys like Quentin Gauze, guys like Leonte Carew, Tyler Croft. It really means a lot just to be able to walk down this hallway and see these jerseys hanging up and know that at one point or another, these guys were in our shoes. You know what I mean? That they put in the work and they put in the time to be exactly where they wanted to be, go exactly where they wanted to go, and that anything's possible, man. I mean, all these people come from different backgrounds and they all had the same ultimate goal and they're obviously living it out. So, it just shows you that anything's possible as long as you keep working. Before we go out on the field, we always touch this sign up here that says, I believe. represents this whole team. You know, you gotta believe in your brothers. You gotta believe that you're gonna go out there and do your job. You've worked all week for this. You know what I mean? You've worked in practice. You've worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When you're done with school, you go home, you watch film. This game has been won long before you step on this field, and that's something that you definitely have to believe before you get out there. All right, so at this point now, we're traveling down the tunnel. This is probably the most emotional part as far as just trying to contain your emotions. Coming down this tunnel, you've got your brothers to your left and your right. You've got the people out there, out on the field, screaming for the school, screaming for everything you stand for, everything you've worked for. And right here, you're just trying to contain it. You're trying to contain it until you get out there. When you're running, you're taking this field, man, it's just the utmost. It's probably one of the greatest feelings in the world, just running on this field with your teammates and seeing the team line up across from you, knowing that you're about to go to war. You knowing that as soon as that ball is kicked off, you know, everything that all the time that you've put in, everything that you've worked for, it all starts right here.
This is Our Football with Coach Chris Ash. Coach, you talked to your club on Sunday after the game against Michigan. What was the overall message?
Similar to last Saturday after the Ohio State one. We got to learn from the game and what we did good, what we did bad in the game. But we got to put it behind us. We're ready to start a new season. The first 6 games, we're at the halfway point. First 6 games, we played some really tough opponents. We're going to play some really good opponents in the second half, but I think the gap between where we're at and where some of these other teams are is a lot smaller, and we have an opportunity to go out and play some really good football here the rest of the season.
So does it begin with the offensive line, both with trying to run the football and protecting the quarterback?
Yeah, every game that you're in, regardless of the level, it starts with your offensive line's ability to get the offense going. Can you run the ball the way you want to be able to run the ball? Can you protect the quarterback so he has time to throw the ball? We have struggled in those 2 areas in the last 2 weeks, and we have to get back on track. Against Iowa, I thought we did an outstanding job, with our offensive line being able to run the ball and give the quarterback time to throw it. Did not do that the last 2 games, and the offensive production is what it is. It's not very good.
How challenging has this been to take on 4 football teams who are among the elite in the nation?
It's a challenge, but we're going to face that every year. We're going to play Ohio State and Michigan every single year. From the Western Division, we're going to play, probably Iowa, Nebraska, or Wisconsin every year. They're traditionally great football teams, too. So that's the Big Ten. That's the league we're in, and we embrace that. That's why we're here. That's why the players came here. We want to play that type of a schedule. Now we got to continue to coach, develop, and recruit the players that we need to do it.
What's the attitude of the players right now?
Attitude's great. That's never wavered. Anytime you go through a loss as a coach, as a player, support staff, you're shaken. And it takes a little bit of time to get your mind right and get back to being focused on what you need to focus on for the next week. And I thought yesterday we did that. We got it out of our system. The players had a tremendous attitude as we were watching the film. Not happy with what they saw, but I think their focus is on moving on to the second half of the season and getting ready for Illinois.
You've talked about the process. You've also talked about patience. But sometimes it's not easy to be patient. What do you tell your guys in that regard?
Well, we've been talking about that for a long time. Just because we're here doesn't mean all of a sudden everything changes overnight. It's a process, like you mentioned. We've got to continue to coach, develop. We put in new offenses, defenses, special teams. So we're still learning a lot of that. We're going through some injuries right now. None of it's an excuse. It's just reality. It is what it is. Our players get it, but our coaching staff gets it too. It doesn't make it any easier because we're all here to do one thing. That's to eventually have the opportunity to win games. And unfortunately, the last 2 weeks, it's looked ugly.
You've talked about patience with your players. What about with the fans? What's your message to diehard Rutgers fans right now?
Well, I've said this since I've gotten here. I've said this continually to our players, and I say it to fans. I mean, we're here to build a program, not just a team. A team is something that, you have one good year and it's a flash in the pan and that's it. We want to build a program that sustains success. We want to build a program that's big, fast, physical program that can compete with anybody in the country. That's what we want. It's going to take us a little bit of time to get there. I don't know when we'll get there. I don't have a timetable on that. Didn't say we couldn't get there this year. Didn't say it's going to be 5 years down the road. But we have a plan, we have a process, and we'll get there. It'll be a place, in my opinion, at some point, recruits want to come here. Fans want to be here, and not many opposing football teams want to play us. That's the vision. That's what we want to build.
And you had a lot of recruits here the other night, so you want them to embrace the program, to see the program under the lights or in any situation.
Yeah, recruiting is going well still, and I'll be honest with you, I don't feel any negative impact yet from what's happened the last 2 weeks. We've built great relationships with the guys that have been committed to us and the guys that we continue to recruit. They know what's going on here inside the building. They like what they see. They like how they're being developed, how they're being coached, and what they're getting exposed to here. And that's not going to change. We need our players here to continue to get developed, and we need new recruits to come to help us continue to build depth and competition at each spot.
Bottom line, you always have another game the next week, and you've got one this week against Illinois, so it's right back to work, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's the best thing about football. You have a bad day, what do you got to do? You got to turn the page and get ready for the next one, because there's no dead time, there's no off time to sit and have a pity party and think about it. We're on to the next one.
The Scarlet Knights host the Fighting Illini this Saturday at High Point Solution Stadium. We'll talk about the matchup later in the show as Our Football with Chris Ash rolls on. Rutgers fans, don't miss your chance to join in and help build a Big Ten game day experience. Go to ScarletKnights.com for tickets to these upcoming home games.
Handed off for Martin. Big hole to the 40, to the 30, to the second level. Robert Martin inside the 10. Touchdown! Martin turning on the Jets, and he's gone for the touchdown.
5 career 100-yard rushing games for this man, Robert Martin, who's one of the premier runners in the Big Ten Conference. What does it mean to represent Rutgers on the gridiron every Saturday, Robert, against the best of the best?
It definitely means a lot. Just going out there competing with my brothers, the people that I've been putting work in from since day one, since I got here. I love those guys, and I just want to make those guys happy and my coaches happy.
You had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games this year against New Mexico and Iowa.
And Martin stays on his feet, keeps going. Look out, Robert Martin.
Yeah, 5'10", 210 pounds, strong lower body as he powers through and breaks tackle. And here goes that tempo. Rutgers is ready to go again.
I can't figure out if you're fast or you're strong because you seem to emerge from piles very often. What is it?
I got a little bit of power, a little bit of speed, a little bit of shiftiness. I just try to make plays for my team any chance I get. When I get the ball, I feel as though I could be a home run threat, and I just try to get points on the board. And if I got to get slow chunks of yards, that's what I do too.
Still on his feet inside the 30.
Martin met in the backfield, found a hole. Martin into the secondary. Robert Martin trying to turn on the Jets.
I like the fact that you seem to enjoy getting work. You almost thrive on getting a lot of carries. Against Iowa, 21 carries. Against New Mexico, 21 carries. Does that make your eyes light up a little bit?
It definitely makes my eyes light up, just knowing I'm getting the opportunity to help my team win.
Hands it off, Martin up the middle, untouched for the score.
And that's what I try to do. Even if I don't got the ball in my hands, I'm trying to open things up for the wide receivers that's getting the ball out of the backfield, or for Laviano who's on QB runs. Just the little things, and I still got to get better at it, just my run blocking and my pass blocking. So I'm just trying to go to work every day and just make things happen.
Got the cavalry in front of him across the 50 to the 40, and he lowers his shoulder and knocks one man right out of the way.
When did you know that you wanted to be a running back? How old were you?
I say I was about 6. At first, my mom wasn't trying to sign me up for football, but all my friends was playing football, so we'll be in elementary school just talking, and I was like, why they playing football and not me? And I got an older brother, so my older brother helped me convince her to sign me up, and ever since then, I was wanting to get the ball in my hands and score touchdowns.
Here's Robert Martin right up the middle. Robert Martin, can they catch him? They will not. Touchdown.
When I first started for real, I wasn't playing running back. I was on defense, and then my second year of Pee Wees, that's when I really started getting the ball a lot and making plays.
Sticking in the stomach of Robert Martin, who gashes the Hawkeye D out to the...
Talk to me about Rutgers. How do you balance academics and athletics?
We get a lot of time to balance out academics. We got study hall hours, we got tutors, and they make sure we stay up on top of it. And we got a real good CUME GPA as a team, and everybody wants to play their role.
Do you think it's a new culture that is unfolding here on the Banks?
It's definitely a new culture. They're expecting a lot out of us.
What do you think of Coach Ash and the new staff?
Those guys are wonderful. They're trying to help us get better each and every day.
Embrace those things that make you better. Yesterday we talked about energy and passion.
Putting in a lot of hard work. They're testing us, and we're just trying to make those guys proud of us, and we're just buying in.
Let's go, RU!
And your coach talks about the hunt. What does the hunt mean to you?
The hunt just means, like, even if you're not on the football field, you could be watching film. If you're not watching film, you could be in the bubble or outside on the football field doing drills and just doing things besides having the ball in your hands or being at practice around coaches, just doing stuff on your own.
Robert Martin, he wants to be an athletic director someday back in Harrisburg, but for now, he's going to concentrate on scoring some touchdowns.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
luck
Yes,
to you, my
sir.
friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
More of Our Football with Chris Ash coming up in a moment.
Together, we will make history. Join us today in writing the next chapter in Rutgers Athletics. It's time for every member of Rutgers Nation to step up and pledge to this campaign to raise $100 million. Our coaches are in. Our administrators are in. Now we need you. Are you in?
Oh my goodness! Wow. What a win for Rutgers!
And the Scarlet Knights have done it again!
Illinois is here on Saturday to take on the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. They come off a loss in overtime against Purdue. Coach Chris Ash, first of all, they've got a first-year head coach in Lovie Smith, who was in the NFL for a number of years, even took the Bears to a Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on their program?
Lovie's an unbelievable coach. He's even a better person. I got a chance to be around him and his staff when they were with the Chicago Bears when I was a younger coach back when I was at Iowa State and Wisconsin. Went to visit their defensive staff a number of years, and open door policy helped me out a lot, helped me grow and develop and learn the game and become a better defensive coach. So I want to thank him for what he's done for me, but I watch what they're doing there at Illinois. They keep getting better every week. They got an offense that presents a lot of challenges. They got a defense that's trying to play extremely hard, and they're very well coached and are fundamentally sound.
And I look at their offense, almost 1,000 yards rushing, almost 1,000 yards passing. That's balanced. That creates some challenges for you, doesn't it?
No, there's no doubt. They're doing a good job. They got some nice run schemes that they implement with their offense. They got a quarterback, Wes Luntz, I think an outstanding quarterback. I was recruiting Wes when I was at Wisconsin, when he was coming out of high school there in Illinois. He ended up going to Oklahoma State, started as a true freshman there. transferred back to Illinois. We knew he was going to be a great player, but he can sling it as good as there is in college football.
So as you start the second half against Illinois, what are you looking to do offensively and defensively? Overall, what's your approach here?
Well, it's just like what you mentioned with Illinois. We have to get our run game going. We have to get our pass game going. We've got to establish some balance offensively. And that's not just in the runs and the passes. It's the types of runs that we have and the types of passes that we have also. We've got to have more balance. And we've got to continue to play better defensively. We've got to stop the run, which we have not been able to do the last couple weeks.
And you're back at home. It's always nice to have your crowd behind you, but you need to get them a little bit excited here too with some energy. Does that mean making a play early on?
Yeah, I mean, we want fans to show up, but fans want to show up and watch a football team that's going to be exciting to watch. And to do that, we have to make plays. I mean, I know that, fans know that, and we have to do that. And we have to do that early in the game. You know, we've got to be able to start the game. If we take the ball, we've got to be able to get a nice drive and go down and get some points on the board to create energy not only on our sideline but in the stadium too.
Chris, is this the type of team that you need to be competitive against when you look at the league?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everyone wants to compare us to Ohio State and Michigan. That's not fair. It's not fair to the players. It's not fair to anybody here. Ohio State and Michigan are the two of the most tradition-rich programs in all of college football. We're not there, right now. We need to be able to have our sights set on other teams in the league, and Illinois is one of those that we need to be able to catch and be able to compete with and have opportunities to beat.
Coach, good luck as you start the second half of the campaign.
I appreciate it. We're excited to get going.
So it's Rutgers against Illinois this weekend at High Point Solution Stadium as the second half of the campaign begins in earnest. We'll see you next week, everybody. Rutgers fans, don't miss your chance to join in and help build a Big Ten game day experience. Go to ScarletKnights.com for tickets to these upcoming home games.